Are you a woman with ADHD who feels constantly overwhelmed? Like you're just drowning in chaos and you finally catch your breath and then something new will come up and just like pull you right back under? As a neuroscience professor with a PhD and ADHD, I see this all the time with my clients. And today I'm going to share with you the one thing you must have to escape that cycle of overwhelm for good. And no, it is not another productivity hack or executive function trick. It is something much simpler, but without it, you will keep spinning your wheels, trying one system after another, and then wondering why nothing works. Let me show you. Imagine you are stuck in a blizzard. There is snow swirling around you. Visibility 0, okay? Whiteout. And you are just trying to survive, but you have no idea which way to turn. You're terrified that if you stop for even a second, you will sink even deeper into the snow that keeps piling up, and then you will never escape. Well, that is what ADHD overwhelm feels like. And here's the thing. Most of us try to escape this ADHD overwhelm by focusing on productivity, finding the perfect planner, the perfect app, the perfect hack. We've all done it, but let's be honest, no matter how many systems you try, you always end up back in the same place. Why? Because you are missing the one thing that makes all the difference. Let's go back to that blizzard analogy for just a second. The snow is pounding you from all directions, you have zero visibility, and it's basically impossible to know which way you should be going. So you just pick a direction and hope it's the right one. But if those clouds part for even a second, you will gain enough visibility and clarity to know exactly which way to go. And you know then that if you keep going, you're eventually going to make it to where you want to be. And that clarity of direction is the foundation for literally everything and the one thing you must have to get out of ADHD overwhelm. Here's an example from my own life. When I was deep into burnout, my schedule was bananas, okay? And I spent hours trying to figure out the right productivity system that I could use to manage all of the things that I was trying to cram in to each 24-hour day. So what I needed was not a better productivity or organizational system. Because when it came right down to it, what I actually wanted and needed, to be honest, was some flexibility and space in my schedule to just be able to take a freaking breath once in a while. This way, I wasn't having to constantly make up work in the evenings when my kids went to bed. If I didn't feel well, I could rest. Like, what a concept, right? And maybe you identify with this because I was, to be honest, just completely exhausted all the time and there was no end in sight. And I had no idea how to get out until I realized that I required that space in order to be able to move forward. And creating space and flexibility in my schedule was a completely different issue than just trying to be more organized with the things that I was putting on my schedule that just shouldn't be there. So I got clear on what I actually needed to do, then I could actually solve the problem. Or like my client Victoria, who said, I've realized my problems can't be solved with just a new and better organizational system. Once she knew what problem she actually wanted to solve and where she wanted to go, she was able to get unstuck and make some major life decisions and decide to relocate her family to a new place. And they're doing amazing because she made that decision once she actually got clear on what she wanted her family life to be like. Essentially, you can think of it like this. Clarity is the equivalent of putting a destination into Google Maps. You literally can't map a route without it. So finding clarity is the foundation of what you need to build a life that you actually love. One that works with your ADHD brain. And I'm going to show you a step-by-step system so that you can find it. Remember Victoria? This is the same system that helped her get unstuck and make a decision about whether to relocate her family to another country. And the best part is this is super easy for you to implement in your own life. And you can use it for decisions big and small. And I've created a worksheet for you to follow along that you can download for free in the description. So pause the video because we're going to go through it together. Now this Clarity Compass is more than just a workbook, okay? It is your guide to creating a life free from that constant overwhelm and one that feels aligned and manageable. Can you imagine a life that feels manageable? It is actually, it turns out, supposed to feel manageable most of the time. Bananas, I know. And the best part is, this is a really simple set of things that you can ask yourself whenever you feel stuck and need to figure out which way you go. So you can use it again and again. All right, so grab your workbook and let's go. Here's how it works. Step 1, we want to get clear on where we are. You need a destination to put in Google Maps, but Google Maps needs to know where you're starting from, and so do you. So I want you to start by just taking 5 minutes. You can pause the video, and I want you to get clear on where you are in life right now. And I want you to be honest with yourself. This is just for you. What does your life look like? What does your life feel like? If life was basically the same 6 months, 1 year, 2 years from now, would that be okay with you? I want you to really stop and think and feel how it feels on the inside when you imagine a life where each day looks basically like it does for you right now. For me, this question and imagining life just being the same, even a few months into the future, felt so physically unacceptable that was the moment I knew I had to do something to make life even a little bit better. This can be a really powerful exercise to help you really feel where you're at and get clear, the good and the bad. So now that you know where you are, I want you to take a moment and I want you to get clear on what you want your future to look like. There is no right or wrong answer. There is no should allowed here. This is what you would want your future to look like. And the less you censor yourself, the better. How do you want it to feel? How do you want it to look? Where do you want to be with your career, your home, your relationships? And this part is about getting honest with yourself about what you actually want, not what you think you should want. Again, you're not signing any contracts here. You're just imagining the future you would want. And then this is key. I want you to write down why you would want your future to look that way. How is that different from where you are right now? What are the types of things that are going to be changing about how you feel, how you interact, what you do compared to right now? So now you know where you are and you know where you want to be and why you want to be there, okay? And so step 3 is getting clear on what actions are actually going to move you toward the future that you want. So what is one small step that you can take today to move a little bit closer to that future that you want? So do not, I repeat, do not overhaul your entire life. This will fail. Make this a very small step that is very manageable and that is completely within your control. So if you want your home to be more organized, that is big, okay? Removing all clutter, also big. So maybe it is decluttering that countertop that everyone drops their crap on when they come from school or work or the store. If that sounds like it might be on my list, you'd be right. We have been fighting our countertop doom pile for years, but we're shrinking it little by little. So maybe it's clearing that off, but making sure that you have found a home for all the things that tend to collect. Where is that mail that you keep dropping going to go? Where are the bills that you don't want to put into the void going to sit until they're paid so that you remember to pay them? Where do those nail clippers go? Or maybe that step is figuring out how to get help from a friend, a family member, a therapist, or a coach on what your next steps could be, or on giving you accountability to start to take those steps. Getting help can be a decision too. It was a huge one for me. Listen, clarity isn't just about knowing what you want. It is about finally feeling in control of your entire life. And that is so powerful. So remember, download that Clarity Compass so that you can get started today. When you have clarity, you stop reacting to the chaos of your life and start creating and building a life that feels aligned and manageable and joyful. And you've got to have clarity to be able to actually get there. Once you have clarity, you need to get where you are going, and that won't work unless you have these 3 simple skills. So watch this video next where I explain exactly what they are and how to master them. You got this.